Hi, my name is Robert Shelley with Shelley Law, and my law firm assists physicians with employment contract and independent contractor agreement issues. Today, I'm going to talk about how long does tail insurance last for a physician. So, first, you need to identify if you need tail insurance in the first place. For most physicians, you'll either have an occurrence-based policy or a claims-made policy. And so in an occurrence-based policy, a policy has to be in effect when the malpractice event occurs, and therefore no tail insurance is necessary. Under a claims-made policy, a policy has to be in effect when the claim is actually made, and so it's possible you could leave an employer and then somebody could sue you 18 months after you've left the employer, and so you need a policy in place that covers the gap, which is called tail insurance or extended reporting insurance as well. The gap between when you leave the employer and then the last day somebody can sue you. In most states, that's 2 years. And in most states, it's 2 years from when you either know or should have known of the malpractice event. So it's possible, if there's no way for somebody to know that some kind of malpractice occurred for 5 years after the fact, they still could sue you after they found out about the incident. I don't know, let's just say a surgeon leaves an instrument in someone's body. There's no way of knowing until they're open back up and have to go in there, and then they find out. In that scenario, at that point they would have 2 years. And then there's also many states have caveats for minors to, sue once they reach the age of majority. You need to be aware of what the laws are as far as your state. But for the most part, 2 years is kind of a good rule of thumb. And so it's up to the physician how long the tail policy lasts. And so most employers will state in the contract how long they want the tail policy to be, meaning at least 3 years, at least 5 years, indefinitely. The cost of the tail insurance is proportional to how long the policy lasts. So the average cost for tail insurance is twice what your annual premium is. So let's just say you're in primary care. The average primary care, annually is $6,000, and so your tail cost would be around $12,000. Well, if you got a 2-year policy, it could be less than that, maybe 150% of what your annual premium is. And if you went 5 years, it could maybe be 250%. And then if you got an indefinite policy, it could be 300%. There's kind of a range. So ultimately, it's up to the physician what type of tail policy they get, unless the employer is the one that pays for the policy, and then they are going to determine how long they want it to be for. So if you are an employee and the employer will pay for tail insurance once the contract ends or terminates, you need to make certain you know how long that tail policy is for. And then if you don't feel comfortable with the length, then you can always potentially buy for more coverage if that makes you more comfortable. I find getting an indefinite policy that covers the physician, for all of time, or at least all of their time, is probably the smart way to go. Yes, it's more expensive, but not having that hanging over a physician's head is one, it provides some peace of mind, and two, you just never know kind of what's going to pop up. Now, this certainly could be specialty dependent. Extremely unlikely that family practice is going to have something pop up 5 years down the road where they committed some kind of malpractice event and no one knew about it for 5 years. So it does kind of depend on what specialty you're in. But I find just putting down a little bit of extra money to have the peace of mind that you are covered indefinitely makes a lot of sense. You need to be active in the process. I know some people are very passive when they leave an employer, and they don't even get a copy of the tail insurance policy or even have any idea how long it lasts for. It's absolutely within your right, if you are the one on the policy, that you know what the terms of it are. And I would even discuss this with the employer prior to you leaving the job so that everyone is on the same page. So that's how long tail insurance lasts. If you have any questions about your employment contract or independent contractor agreement, feel free to contact my law firm at the phone number and website listed below. And I appreciate you watching the video. Thanks.